So you know Berk, right? My home. It's this awesome, super rocky island. For a long time, we Vikings had this, ongoing tiff with dragons. More like a full-on war, really. Houses on fire, sheep gone missing, the usual stuff. Then I met Toothless. He's a Night Fury, the coolest, smartest, most amazing dragon ever. And well, things changed. We showed everyone that dragons weren't just scaly monsters. They could be our best friends, our partners. Berk became this amazing bustling place, Vikings and dragons, living together, flying high. It was pretty unbelievable, a real dream come true for us all. But then, Grimmel the Grizzly showed up. This guy was bad news, seriously bad. He was a dragon hunter, the worst dragon hunter. He believed dragons were just mindless beasts, meant to be controlled or, even worse, wiped out. He was smart, cunning, and totally ruthless. He even hunted down almost all the Night Furies. Toothless was like the last one, or so we thought. Grimmel wanted to capture Toothless. He wanted to destroy everything we'd built. Our whole way of life was under threat. We had to protect our dragons. We had to protect our home. It was a scary time, believe me. Now, imagine a place far, far away. A land we never even knew existed. It's called Afghanistan. Think towering mountains that scrape the sky. Think vast, sweeping deserts under a blazing sun. The people there, they're incredibly tough. They're warriors through and through. They've lived in these harsh lands for centuries. They know how to survive. They know how to fight. They have these amazing, ancient traditions, stories of courage and honor, a culture built on resilience and strength. It's a world so different from our little island of Berk, yet maybe not so different in spirit. So, what if? What if these two worlds met? Berk with its dragons and Vikings, and Afghanistan with its fierce warriors and hidden wonders. What if, when Grimmel was breathing down our necks, we found allies in this distant, legendary land? Imagine their reaction to Toothless. Imagine our reaction to whatever secrets their land held. This wasn't just finding a new island. This would be finding a whole new kind of strength, a new hope, when we needed it most. This could change everything, absolutely everything in our fight. Okay, so picture this. We're on the run from Grimmel. We're searching for the hidden world, a safe place for all dragons. We're desperate, flying further than ever before. Suddenly Astrid spots something. A signal? Smoke from a mountain pass we'd never charted. Or maybe a dragon we didn't recognize flew past, leading us on. Curiosity and a bit of hiccup-style desperation made us follow. We flew over these massive, jagged peaks, higher than anything on Berk. And then we saw it. Not a Viking village. Something entirely new. A settlement nestled in a hidden valley unlike anything we'd ever encountered. The first meeting? A little tense. Yeah, that's an understatement. We land, all Vikings and dragons. They see us, these incredible warriors, dressed in clothes we'd never seen, carrying weapons that looked seriously effective. They were cautious, and who could blame them? We probably looked pretty strange too. But then, maybe Toothless did something, Toothless-like. Curious, friendly. And they saw he wasn't a monster. Their leaders, wise and stern, saw something in our eyes. They saw we were protectors, not invaders. We shared stories of Grimmel. They understood fighting for your home. Slowly, very slowly, trust started to build between us. These Afghan warriors were incredible. Forget Viking brawn for a second. These guys were masters of their terrain. They moved like shadows in the mountains. They knew every rock, every cave, every secret path. Their skills with bows were amazing. And they were incredible riders, not of dragons, but of these tough, agile horses that could scale near vertical slopes. They fought with a kind of fierce grace. They had tactics we'd never dreamed of. Ambushes, using the land to their advantage. They were a completely different kind of strength, a strength that we really, really needed right then. It was clear pretty quickly. Our dragon riders and their ground warriors, we could be an amazing team. We had the skies covered. They knew the land like the back of their hands. Gobber would have loved their metalworking skills, by the way. They could teach us so much about survival in harsh environments. We could show them the world from a dragon's back. Imagine their best archers paired with our fastest dragons, or their scouts guiding us through treacherous mountain passes that Grimmel's forces wouldn't expect. This alliance felt right, like a missing piece of the puzzle we didn't even know was missing. So if Afghanistan existed in our world, you just know there would be dragons there. Totally new kinds of dragons. Imagine dragons perfectly adapted to those incredible landscapes. Not just scaled, but maybe with fur-like insulation for the cold mountain peaks. Or dragons that could camouflage themselves against sand dunes. One type, let's call them Pamir peak snatchers. These dragons would be majestic, living way up in the highest, most inaccessible mountains. Their scales could be the color of granite and ice, making them almost impossible to spot against the cliffs. They'd be built for endurance in thin air. Their abilities would be unique too. Maybe the peak snatchers didn't breathe fire. Perhaps they had a powerful sonic roar, a roar that could echo through the valleys, disorienting enemies or even causing small avalanches to block Grimmel's pursuing forces. Or what about desert dragons? Let's call them cobble sand wraiths. These dragons could burrow under the sand with incredible speed, creating tunnels, ambushing enemies from below. Their scales would be like hardened glass, reflecting the desert heat. They might spit, not fire, but concentrated blasts of superheated sand. That would definitely surprise Grimmel's goons. The Afghan warriors wouldn't just fight alongside these dragons, they'd have unique bonds with them. Maybe not riders in our sense at first, but partners, protectors of shared territories. Imagine Afghan warriors using their deep knowledge of the land, guiding these native dragons, setting up incredibly clever traps, using narrow canyons for aerial ambushes. The peak snatchers, with their sonic roars, could herd Grimmel's death grippers into kill zones. The sand wraiths could undermine enemy camps. It would be a whole new level of strategy. Something Grimmel, for all his cunning, would never see coming from a mile away. Grimmel's whole thing was knowing dragons, predicting their moves, controlling them. But these Afghan dragons? They'd be totally outside his experience. He wouldn't have any notes on them, no counter-strategies ready. And the Afghan warriors, they wouldn't fight like Vikings. They wouldn't meet him head-on in the open, unless it was on their terms. They'd use stealth, patience, and the environment itself as a weapon. This new, unexpected front would stretch Grimmel's forces thin. It would sow confusion. It would give us a fighting chance we desperately needed. He'd be furious, and a furious Grimmel makes mistakes. It wouldn't just be about fighting, though. The Afghan culture, it's so rich. Their traditions of hospitality are legendary. Imagine them sharing their homes, their food, their stories with us Burkians. We'd learn about their strong family bonds, their respect for elders and wisdom. They have this incredible art, music, and poetry. It would open our eyes to a whole new way of looking at the world. Snotlout might even learn some manners. Maybe. Fishlegs would be in heaven, documenting everything. Their resilience, their ability to find beauty even in harshness, would inspire all of us. Burke could learn so much about community. Our war councils would be totally different. Vikings are, direct. We like to charge in. The Afghan leaders, they'd bring a different perspective. More strategic perhaps, more about patience and choosing the right moment. We'd combine hiccups, that's me, inventive ideas with their ancient battlefield wisdom. Astrid's fierceness with their calculated tactics. It would be a true meeting of minds. We'd plan ambushes using their knowledge of secret routes. We'd use their unique dragons to counter Grimmel's technology. This combined strength would be formidable. A true united front against a common enemy. So, the final battle. It would be epic. Grimmel thinks he has us cornered. He's got his fleet, his death grippers. But he doesn't know about our new allies. As his forces advance, suddenly, Afghan warriors emerge from hidden positions, creating diversions, taking out key targets on the ground. From the skies, not just Burkians, but the Pamir Peak Snatchers unleash their sonic blasts, throwing his armada into chaos. Sand wraiths could disable his ships from below. It would be a multi-front assault he couldn't possibly predict or counter effectively. Toothless, and the Light Fury wouldn't be fighting alone. They'd have a whole new world of dragons beside them. And the ending? It could change completely. With Grimmel defeated more decisively, maybe the pressure to send all dragons to the hidden world lessens. Perhaps with allies like the Afghans who understand coexisting with unique creatures in tough lands, humans and dragons could find a new way. Not just on Burke, but in other parts of the world too. The hidden world might still be a sanctuary. But maybe, just maybe, the surface world wouldn't have to be entirely without dragons. This alliance wouldn't just win a war, it would build a bridge to a future where humans and dragons from all corners of the globe could truly understand and protect each other. That sounds pretty good to me.